Algae, or seaweed, are a group of aquatic plants with an autotrophic metabolism. That is, they have the capacity to produce their own food from inorganic substances. Chlorophyll is the primary photosynthetic pigment. It lacks flowers, a vascular system, and roots. They are found in fresh or salt water and are considered the first link in the trophic chain. They have a great diversity of shapes, and in terms of size, we can find macroalgae and microalgae. Some species provide different applications for the benefit of human beings. For this reason, the demand for seaweed has grown rapidly in recent years.
So welcome to Sikora, our seaweed farm that is located on the Mediterranean, not far from Tel Aviv and Haifa, in the middle of the way in Israel. Welcome to our facility. What we're doing here in Sikora is growing seaweed in a very sustainable, ecological way.
Sikora is a company that started about 14 years ago. And all the idea behind this company was actually to see from where the world started. And actually, when you're thinking about the seaweed actually it's the base for all the world. Why? Because everything, and according to the evolution, everything started with the seaweed, and after that, during the evolution, the plants went from the sea to the land, which means in the seaweed there is the base to build every plant, or all the plants started from the seaweed, which means the seaweed have everything that we need, or the nature needs. So when we started to check the seaweed, we found that the seaweed is actually the multimineral, the perfect multimineral from the nature. And according to the history, about 2,000 years ago, the Roman Empire used to take the seaweed to feed the cow, the goat. Because of that, because in the seaweed there is so much protein, so they got more fat. And I said, okay, if it's good for the animal, let's see how we're going to do it for people. Lately, a lot of research that has been made in the world actually said that the human race developed, the brain and the human race, the Homo sapiens, developed because he was very close to the shore and he ate seaweed and creatures from the sea.
This company decided to work with the native seaweed of the coasts of Israel, since its objective is to develop local algae so as not to contaminate the environment by bringing different species to the Mediterranean Sea.
We started to develop actually technology, not a seaweed, a technology, how actually we can develop a machine that can grow seaweed with fully control on the fresh water, about clean water. This is the most important things, and how to create and to develop that we can grow them in a certain way without all the animals that we have in the sea, because we don't want all the insects and the creature there is in the sea that eating the seaweed, because we want to do it for a human consumption, for people to eat.
First of all, we have, of course, many species in the Mediterranean. The ulva and the gracilaria are commercially valuable, so we are using this to grow them because they have a value in the market. Second of all, they are the one who the basic research was made of in the beginning of really 20, 30 years ago when people start looking at seaweed. So those are the two, but of course there are many others, and we are continue searching, and we have our own R&D and research that we are actually looking ahead for the next seaweed that can go into the pipeline and start growing it.
However small or large this organism is, it is important since it fulfills a specific function within the aquatic ecosystem.
The macroalgae are the seaweed, and you can see those are big leafy seaweed, okay? And you can find it around the world. There are many, many different species of seaweed, okay? Hundreds and thousands of them around the world. We have some that growing in cold water, some growing in the tropics, in hot water, and you can find them basically in all the ocean around the world. The microalgae are one-cell tiny algae, okay? And if you go to lakes and you see green water, this is a microalgae, okay? And there are different species of algae, okay? More than 25% of the oxygen that is produced on Earth is produced by the seaweed. The other 25, okay, is the microalgae, and the 50% that left is from the forest. You can see here is our seaweed cultivation process, starting from those small tanks, going to a bigger and bigger farm. What we are cultivating is ulva, okay? Ulva lattice, a green seaweed that you can find in the Mediterranean, and you can find it around the world in the tropical belt, okay? Look at the color, amazing. It's full with antioxidant, full with minerals. So seaweed are actually filtering the water of the ocean and taking from those water all the minerals they need in order to grow and survive. Moreover, they are full with very healthy fibers, okay? In order to sustain the wave in the ocean, they have to be strong. So what you see here, multi-fibers leaf. Moreover, ulva is a fast-growing seaweed. It can grow very, very quickly.
The vast majority of seaweed crops around the world are made in the open sea, where bacteria and other microorganisms grow on them, contaminating them. For this reason, it is essential that they be cleaned well after harvest. One of the focuses of this company is precisely the use of technology that previously filtrates the seawater with which they work.
The first thing is that the water meat is a filtration system when we actually separate any kind of particles and reducing any kind of contaminants like heavy metals, like pesticides. So the water coming through these tanks through the cultivation process are totally clean, purified seawater. Okay? This is one of the major things that we develop in our technology, how to treat the water. Because as I said before, seaweed are the filtration system of the oceans. Now this water is so clean that you can eat this seaweed from the tank itself. They are so clean that there is no bacteria or fungi or any kind of yeast growing on them. And this is something very unique. I think we are one of the only companies in the world that growing seaweed that you can actually take it as is from the water and eat it. It's the highest grade of food for human consumption. What seaweed need to grow? What kind of nutrient they need? So first of all, they need the sun. And you can see here, we have a net, and this net is not to protect from the sun, it's actually to protect from insects, because we don't want any insect in the water. And the sun is coming through it and meeting those solar panel, like I'm calling them, because the leaf itself, they are like solar panel. They are catching and catching the sun and the photon from the sun to the leaf, okay? More than that, they need the water, they need seawater, and in the end of the process, we're adding a little bit of nitrogen, organic nitrogen, in order to boost the growth of the ulva. So we need to mix them all the time in order that those leaves are not going to settle down, okay, and the sun will not penetrate the water. By doing so, we are actually improving the growth rate of the seaweed, okay? This is something that we develop in technology. And our basic technology, and it's a patent technology, we develop a whole process to cultivate seaweed, and it's a platform, not only for ulva, it's a platform for other seaweed. And the big thing, the big idea behind it is to take this technology and move it to other countries so they can too actually cultivate their own seaweed, okay, without damaging the environment.
This is the Gracilaria, a genus of red algae that is also cultivated here. Its growth is slower than that of the ulva, since it may require 1 or 2 more degrees of temperature, which means this crop can be harvested up to 3 to 4 times per year.
It's full with antioxidants, pigments, and had a lot of value in the industry of agar. So in the industry of cosmetics and pharmacy, this is a very important seaweed. Of course, it's full with proteins and nutrients, like as I mentioned before, magnesium, iron, calcium, zinc, vitamins. So we can use it as a supplement to any kind of salad or dish that we want to prepare. And it's a very, very healthy seaweed. We're producing the next generation by asexual reproduction. Okay? So every tiny piece of this algae can continue grow to a big leaf. And like the ulva, the water are coming from the ocean clean. We are cleaning them in our filtration system. And they are leaving the facility clean, even cleaner than what we got them.
Each species of seaweed has specific parameters necessary for its proper development. That's why this technology is completely flexible. It creates the precise environmental conditions in each stage of the crop.
I have 9 harvests a year, which means every cycle it's 5 weeks. I started with 5-7 kilo of seaweed. After 5 weeks, I have 250 kilo. Nothing grows like that in the nature. So from 1 acre of seaweed, I'm taking almost 80 tons a year of seaweed. If you compare it to a different product, it's 10, hundreds times more by the weight and also by the quality of the mineral that you have in the food. So this is the reason why we're doing it.
Harvesting is a very important process in cultivating seaweed, because seaweed are very sensitive to bacteria, to mold, to yeast, and any delay in harvesting them can make them too much polluted, so we are not going to be able to use them as a human, for human consumption. So one of the things is to do the harvesting, or to active a very fast harvesting process. And here, in 10 to 15 minutes, those seaweed gonna be in our freezer. So we have a big pipe over there that is connected to our packing facility, okay? Water with the seaweed are leaving those tanks going straight to the packing facility, okay? And in the packing facility, we have separation of the water and the seaweed. We are centrifuging, using a centrifuge in order to reduce a little bit of the water that is on those seaweed. And we are putting them in tanks, in big bags, immediately sending them to a freezer. So this is a unique process that allows us to market those seaweed to human consumption.
One of our biggest problems today in the Western world is that we are eating food that was in process, which we almost without mineral. What we have is maybe sugar, salt. You don't have a lot of things or a lot of minerals in the food. And what we're trying to do, we're taking a lot of supplement. But the seaweed, it's a multi-supplement that's coming everything. It's got everything.
Seaweed is full of essential nutrients and great for human health. It provides nutrients such as vitamin A, C, D, E, B1 and B2, phosphorus, potassium, iron, fiber, and a high calcium content.
By using seaweed on food, we can actually reduce the glycemic value of the food. And people are talking a lot today about reducing obesity and giving the people good and healthy food. And this is one of the solutions. Producing this amazing seaweed in a sustainable, ecological way and using them to feed the people in a good, healthy food.
First of all, Latin America, she in one of the best geographic area in the world to grow seaweed. And why is that? First of all, it's because the location of Central America, 12 months in the year you almost have the sun. The other thing, the temperature, it doesn't have jump and vary between 24 to 18, something like that. She have the two oceans. She have the Pacific and she have the Atlantic. And each sea has many variations. So the quality and the variation that Central America can grow, it's much higher than in the Mediterranean. To put in our facility and to try to save turtle, sea turtle, brown turtle, the big turtle that has been wounded in the sea or catch or wasn't so well, so we have like a mini hospital over here that help to the turtle to recover, and then we send them back. And one of our, let's say, mission is to put here a hospital for a creature from the sea. Why, to my opinion, is going to be the food of the future? First of all, one of the biggest problems of the world today is fresh water. So you don't need fresh water. Another energy that you need is just sun. And we transfer it through the seaweed, so we also clean the sea. The other thing is, you can keep it for a long time. You can keep it in the freezer, defrost it, freeze it again, nothing happened to that. And you can keep it, dry it, and it can stay for many years. And the other thing is you add a little bit for every food. So it's improve every food that you add. So it's give you all the health that you need, all the basic things that the body needs. So this is the logic behind it, and this is why I believe this is going to be the future food. Because it's very easy to do it, very easy.